Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Baby's coming any day, so I want to get things ready and set up.
A West Fargo expecting mother says something just didn't feel right when looking to rent a new home to raise her child. Good evening and thanks for joining us. On top of the stress of looking for a new place to live, Stephanie Sherritt learned that a house she was looking at on Craigslist started to concern her. Valley News Team's Krista Baim explains the scam she narrowly escaped and what you can look for to avoid becoming victim of a rent-a-house scam.
Rent and stuff?
$895 a month to rent a house.
I was like, it's a little bit above our price range.
But when the Craigslist ad for the rental dropped to $500, it looked good for Stephanie Sherritt. So she looked into it.
I emailed the person or whatever, and I said, I'm interested, you know, if there's any way I can go see the house or, you know, kind of talk more about it.
Someone emailed her back, claiming to be a reverend out of the country, and he asked for a $500 deposit before sending her the keys. A red flag to the expecting mother.
How he said we couldn't go and see inside the house.
So she drove by, noticed a for sale sign, and called the realtor, only to learn they didn't know the man who posted online. A problem realtors see on a weekly basis and work to clean up on the internet. But there are steps you can take before becoming victim to a good-looking renter's deal.
I encourage you to meet a person first before you send them money. Make sure you talk to them on the phone. Maybe get a referral from a previous renter that can provide information as far as how they are as a landlord or a property manager.
If you're looking to buy, Boucher says stick to an agent. But either way, if you choose online, look closely at what's included.
Someone who's really trying to market their property is going to provide photos and more information, usually an email address or a phone number for you to communicate with.
Signed, Stephanie says we're all there.
There was some pictures on Craigslist of the inside, and then a few days ago I got a realtor app on my phone, and it's the same house, but it's different pictures.
A problem she caught before losing money as she prepares to raise her child in a different home. Krista Baim, Valley News Live.
Now, Stephanie's baby is due on Thursday, and she says they have found a place to live that she didn't find on Craigslist. A street on the east side of the federal courthouse was temporarily blocked off earlier today in downtown Fargo due to what crews called a suspicious package. An unattended bag was noticed during a morning patrol around 11:30. Here's a picture of it. Following procedure, the area was secured and a bomb squad was called in. The bomb squad x-rayed and the package and determined it was not a threat. The senior inspector with the U.S. Marshal Service says it's better to treat incidents like this like they're a real situation.
So we always take that extra step. We assume the worst first and then kind of work our way backwards from there until we can determine that it's something safe and we can allow people back into that area.
The package was a brown backpack that contained clothes and personal papers. Efforts are being made to locate the person and return the backpack. Well, Valley News Live has an exclusive interview with the accused murderer of crimes that have impacted our entire community. Ashley Hunter is accused of brutally killing Clarence Flowers and Samuel Trout in June. From the Cass County Jail, Hunter sat down with Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson, saying that he's been in and out of jail throughout his life, but insists he didn't kill anyone.
Then I found myself on the street, and then like if you're on the street, the only people there are like drunks or, you know, people who are into drugs and stuff like that, and that's obviously wouldn't be my first choice, but like who wants to be homeless, you know? So that's kind of what I was going through, you know.
Hunter is facing 2 counts of murder and 1 of arson. Currently, he's pleading not guilty. He's going to be back in court next month. Now, if you'd like, you can watch the entire nearly 20-minute interview with Hunter. It's on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com and then click on this story. Well, to our weather, another beautiful, mild summer day out there today and hardly a cloud in the sky. I can really get used to this. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green to see if our evening will be the same. Lisa?
Thanks, Steph. Yeah, picture perfect out there. It feels great to step outside, not too hot, especially as you're bustling around taking care of your evening chores or maybe heading out to dinner tonight. Temperatures will be in those 70s or even some low 80s. Right now we're at 81 degrees in Fargo, 77 in Grand Forks. The coolest area still up to the northeast where we have seen a few more clouds today, but just a few out there now, and the FM Metro. And through the rest of the evening hours, we're going to be watching those temperatures slowly slide into the 60s this evening. And look at that wind, very light, so not a breezy night either. We have some continuation of this. However, there are some storm chances coming up too in your forecast. I'll have details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, but we can enjoy this right now because this is just perfect.
This is great tonight. Get out while you still can.
All right, thanks, Lisa.
You bet.
Family members have taken to social media hoping to find 26-year-old Amber Lee Paulson. Amber is described by her family as a vulnerable adult. Here's a picture of her. She hasn't been seen or heard from since July 23rd. Family describes Amber as 5'4" to 5'5" and 140 pounds. She has long blonde hair and hazel eyes. The information was posted by her family on the North Dakota Lost and Missing Facebook page. Family members ask that you call Fargo Police right away if you see her. Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota is eliminating 73 jobs. 15 people are going to be laid off. The remaining 58 are open positions that will not be filled. President and CEO Tim Huckle says the job cuts were necessary because of the loss of the North Dakota Public Employees Retirement System contract. Huckle says the system in the company, is also implementing other cost-saving measures, including cuts to printing expenses, building costs, and consulting fees. On the other side of the spectrum, there is a huge growing need for more qualified workers in the valley as more businesses just continue to expand. Right now, more than 6,000 jobs are open in the greater FM area. The chamber put out a study to help start the conversation of what to do to get more workers to the area. One thing emphasized heavily was educating high school and college students about the opportunities here and encouraging them to stay. Chamber members say the study also showed the numbers could increase to 30,000 over the next few years.
What we did was just confirm a lot of the beliefs that we had, and that is that the economy's thriving, businesses are growing, there's tremendous growth, but we don't have enough people here to fill the jobs that we have.
Businesses are now talking about ways to bring more workers here, including getting rid of bad stereotypes about the greater FM area. The North Dakota Game and Fish Department is implementing 2 new emergency rules to help prevent the spread of zebra mussels outside the Red River. Anglers can no longer transport live bait in water away from the Red River, and all boats and other watercraft must have their plugs pulled when exiting the river and when leaving the access area. The rules are effective immediately, and violators will be subject to citation and fines. If zebra mussels are discovered in any additional waters, these rules would immediately go into effect for those waters as well. Recent discoveries of young zebra mussels in the Red River and adult zebra mussels at the Fargo Water Treatment Plant prompted the emergency rules. Well, it's an annual event. Night to Unite just kicked off at Elmwood Park in West Fargo. Police are hosting this event in hopes to build stronger relationships with the public. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood, she's at the event and joins us live with much more. Christine?
That's right, Stephanie. And the park is filling up. It's light. It's exciting. We actually just saw a Sanford helicopter land right behind us, so I'm interested to check that out. Also, I spoke with a police officer, and he told me that the purpose of this event is really just to build a better relationship between the community and police officers. You'll hear more about that tonight at 10. Back to you guys.
All right, Christine, thank you. Now, Night to Unite is a nationwide event, and it's going on in many communities throughout the U.S. tonight, including Fargo and Moorhead. Shirts, jeans, and shoes, those are just some of the items needed to be donated to help kids start the school year off right. Sponsor a Student is a program aimed at helping kids who are homeless get the essential clothing they need for school. The YWCA gives each volunteer a list with information like sizes of clothes, favorite colors, and interests for the student. On average, clothing can cost $150, but volunteers can always get more supplies if they want to take their donation further.
I love it because it's not like Christmas. It's just getting kids basic things that they can wear, hopefully for the rest of the year, and make them feel good.
Donations are needed by August 17th. For more ways to help, just go to valleynewslive.com and click on our hot button for a link to the YWCA volunteer page. With the school year coming up, so are fall sports. And if your little one, your little athlete, needs their annual sports physical, Essential Health has some dates and times dedicated to just that. Screenings are available August 4th, 5th, 6th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. It's 9 p.m. up until 6 to 9 p.m. at the West Fargo and Moorhead locations. No appointment is necessary. If you're unable to make one of those available times, though, you can call the number on your screen, 364-8000. Still ahead tonight.